Many congratulations to the top 3 qualifiers for the FIA Formula One Dutch Grand Prix. In third place, Kimi Antonelli. In second place, George Russell, and taking the 18th pole position of his Formula One career, our pole sitter, Lando Norris. Many congratulations, Lando. That was a stunning pole position from you. Just how special was it, that final lap when the rain was coming down?
I mean, it was just, I don't know how much the rain honestly affected things. Certainly the lap time was a bit better than I expected, and honestly maybe it just cooled the track a little bit, and actually the tyres performed better through the lap. But I wouldn't say it affected anything in a bad way. Only my turn 1 was pretty shocking. It was probably my worst turn 1 of the weekend. Otherwise, it wasn't a lap that felt mega. It was just one where I just had to commit through everything because I knew how close it was going to be. We saw how close it was, but after Q3 run 1. So it was one where I just kind of committed a lot more through moments, and almost made more mistakes. But because I committed a lot more through some of these mistakes, I kind of seemed to gain more than I seemed to lose at times. So it's always hard to know because I don't know my delta, so I don't know where I went quicker or slower. But it was a lap where I just thought I have nothing to lose, and it paid off. So those are also nice laps to have.
Now, how surprised are you to be on pole? You said after the sprint this morning that the car wasn't fast enough. How have you managed to turn things around?
Yeah, good question. We've not changed that much. There wasn't a lot we could change. We were pretty happy that we were getting everything out of the car. We've tried to hint it into a direction that would help. It seemed to, I guess, in terms of lap time. Certainly the car didn't feel that much better in the places we were struggling. Our biggest losses were still the same places, the same corners as it was this morning. It's just new tires, low fuel. It just seems to mask quite a few of our issues, and that was probably still the case today. And I just drove well. I just put a lot of things together. I got more out of my lap than I did yesterday. Still wasn't a perfect lap, but it was, I'm driving well. And like I said last weekend, when the car can be in a place where I have a little bit of confidence and I can drive to the level I can drive at, then we can be on pole.
So what does this mean for the long run pace tomorrow? Are you worried that there might be a return of some of the issues you had in the sprint this morning?
Certainly. We've not changed those things. The car is still not our car is certainly the best in high speed, no doubt. Or of the biggest balls, I don't know. But it's very, very strong there, and there's low speed. We just really still struggle. Struggled too much to be confident about everything. We definitely made maybe a little bit of progress, but it's still going to be the trickier side of things tomorrow.
Right, well, very well done today. Good luck tomorrow. George, if we could come to you now, just a tenth of a second behind pole. Just talk us through Q3. Can you picture where you lost that time to Lando?
Yeah, I was on a very strong lap, to be honest, and then I just had a small oversteer in turn 8, and tyres maybe got a little bit hot, and I stopped improving from there on in. Usually, those sort of Q3 laps you keep on improving. So I was a little bit disappointed because the potential was definitely in there. The last sector wasn't good. I didn't improve in the last sector because of that small mistake. But nevertheless, to be on the front row, good qualifying yesterday, sprint win this morning, front row today. So it's could be worse.
Was the potential always in the car today? Because Q2, you're a little bit off, or was it all part of the plan?
It definitely wasn't part of the plan. I had a lock-up at turn 1, so I didn't get the chance to improve. But the car felt great, and I felt in a good window with it. And just similar to what Lando says, when I've got that confidence, and when he's got that confidence, can sort of extract the performance out of it, and just trying to find this feeling a little bit more consistently. And the feeling I've had this weekend is more used to the feeling I've had earlier in the season, and my years gone by in Formula One. So I'm glad that is the case. I hope that can continue, but it definitely brings me a lot of confidence because I know it's the potential is still very much there.
Now, you were in the press conference this morning. You heard Lando talk about his issues in the sprint. After your win in the sprint, how confident are you that you can win the Grand Prix tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we're in a great place, to be honest. Obviously we've got Kimi and I in P2 and P3, so gives us a bit of an opportunity to, put Lando under a bit of pressure strategically. And I think, we probably had a slightly faster race car than those guys. I think, as Lando said, they look very strong in the high-speed corners, and on a track like this with high tyre degradation, you can't really utilise that performance as much in the race because it just puts too much stress in the tyres. So I think it will come towards us, Ferrari a little bit further down the order than we would have expected, and I think they would have been the biggest threat. So, it's game on.
All right. Thank you, George. Well done to you. Kimi, well done as well. You said in Parc Fermé that it was a difficult session for you. Can you just talk us through why it was difficult?
Just struggling with the balance, to be fair. Throughout the whole session, mainly sector 3, was struggling in the chicane. And then, just made a couple of changes, and the feeling came back, but obviously in the last lap I did a mistake in sector 1, took it a bit too easy, seeing the rain on the visor, and just was a really poor sector 1, and shame because I think we had a shot for pole, but still starting P3 tomorrow and all to play for.
And can you talk us through the weekend so far? Just how comfortable have you been in the car? How much work has it required to get the car in the window it's now in?
I mean, to be fair, in FP1 I felt very good. Then obviously yesterday in quali I did a mistake, and that definitely took some confidence away. And also today in qualifying, mainly because the feeling was not really there with the car, I still struggled to find my rhythm and to put the lap times together. But luckily in Q3 we were able to put things a bit more together and to be on the second row.
You talk about rhythm. Are you confident you'll find it in the race tomorrow?
I think our race pace was good today, just difficult with the dirty air, but we'll try to get a good start tomorrow and try to bring home a good result.
All right, best of luck with that. Kimi, thank you very much. Let's now open this to the floor. Please remember to give us your name and publication. First one, please.
Carlo Platella, Formula Passion. George, you said earlier that the feelings you had this weekend are closer to the one you had earlier in the season. Do you think you had found something, maybe tried a different approach or anything else?
No, I think, the truth is, obviously Kimi's been doing an amazing job this season, and clearly the two of us have quite different driving styles. That was apparent last year, and it was really working well for him with this car and these tyres, and just trying to implement something similar into my driving style. I kind of describe it as like if you change your golf swing, you probably take half a step back first before making those improvements, and I think the break just allowed me to put those learnings into the back of my mind, come here this weekend and not sort of fixating on what I want to try and achieve with the car and the tyres, but knowing in the back of my head what I need to achieve and just driving more freely. And I'm really proud of that, because it's just sort of building that toolbox of experience for me that's going to allow me to be even better in the years to come. And who knows, maybe next year the technique is totally different again, and that's the beauty and challenge of Formula One. Every year it's different.
Thank you for that, George. Next one, please.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Lando, just to pick on what George was saying there, you've spoken in recent years about maybe not feeling completely comfortable with the McLaren car and it not suiting your driving style. How have you made those changes, and was that something you still had to do even through last year and at all this year at all?
I don't know why it's just been a thing with our car. And everyone that's driven our car has said a similar thing, but it changes a lot every year, that's for sure. You know, and I guess probably a similar story from what George is saying now to what I had last season. It's easy to overthink things. It's easy to kind of overcomplicate it stuff at the same time. And in the end of the day, you kind of just got to believe, you know, you're in Formula One. You're one of the best drivers in the world. Have some faith that you kind of know how to automatically change things rather than really consciously digging too deep and overcomplicating at times. So I certainly had, that fair share. It's now become just the norm of driving a McLaren, it seems, that every year, even if it's a pretty similar car, is just forget last year and try and start like it's my first year in F1 again. So, always a challenge. And like Josh said, it's part of Formula One and it's part of the challenge you have to overcome. Of course, this year, again, it's been quite a big change comparing to last season, both in a quality point of view and from a race point of view. But he seems to have taken a step forward, and that's a good thing to see.
Thanks, Lando. Any more, please? Yes.
Lawrence Edmondson, ESPN, a question for George. How confident are you that this can be like a real kind of turning point, a game changer for you in the season, or is it circuit specific at all, maybe play to your advantage?
I'm just going to take it race by race. I'm not going to come away from this weekend and say all issues are resolved. I do think, I made some big changes going into the Barcelona weekend, and as I said earlier this morning, I had some good races, Barcelona and Austria. Then Silverstone and Spa, we had the PU issue, and Budapest was just not a competitive weekend my side. So I think it just hasn't been a clean run. This season has not been a clean season whatsoever with all of the issues that we've had. But I think after the break, I just feel way more relaxed. I don't feel like I've got anything to lose. The pressure's off. I'm just going to go out, enjoy it, and I don't even really feel in a fight. It's not mine to lose. It's mine to gain. So that's the mentality I've got, and I feel that's going to help me. I'm just enjoying driving.
Thanks, George. Any more, please? Yep.
Graham Harris, Motorsport Monday. A question to Lando and George. Given the deficit you have to Kimi in the end of the season, and looking back to last season and the points that Lando and Max picked up, how confident do you feel that you can make this an actual title run, both of you?
Well, there's more points on offer from this point until the end of the season than we've had so far. It changes so quick. We already saw it early in the season. At one point, I was almost 70 points down, got within 25, went up to 60. So ebbs and flows, and it's far from over. So long way to go. I think the Ferraris are looking great. Lando's been on pole for the last two races as well. So you can't count anybody out. And we've got these upgrades coming. We've got to hope that they work. It only takes one issue with an upgrade, and it doesn't work as you expect, and before you know it, you're not fighting from week in, week out, and they can be big points missed.
Lando?
Similar, I guess. Obviously, we were on the not so good end of it last year, but there's no point thinking about it. There's just like George says, just focus on tomorrow. I honestly don't care what I'm doing next weekend or the weekend after. It's nice to know there's a possibility, and of course, I'm hoping both Mercedes get a double DSQ in Vegas like we did, and decide not to box in Qatar for a free pit stop. So as long as they make the same mistakes, it'll probably be just as easy. But every year is different. So I mean, for me, we're still trying to play catch up with certain things. But I'm getting everything out of it for now, and that's all I can be pleased about. So I'm happy. It's still a very long way to go. I'm optimistic. I still believe that is possible, and that's all I need for now.
Thanks both. Do we have any more?
Lawrence Edmondson, it's been a question for Kimi. It seems like every other driver is saying it's your title to lose, and the pressure is on you. Have you felt any pressure coming into the second half of the season, and how do you deal with it? How do you kind of just get your head in the right place?
No, I don't feel any extra pressure, but it was a very good wake-up call this weekend, and that you can never lower your guard, because when you do that, I did a mistake yesterday, and today I did a mistake in Q3. So it's not that I'm driving more tense or anything, but it's just I feel this weekend is a good wake-up call, and to just again put things in the right place at the right time, and just deliver the result when it counts.
Kimi, thanks for that. Thanks to all three of you. Very well done. Good luck.
Yes, don't forget to like this video, to comment and to subscribe to our channel to not to miss any of these kind of videos.